Charles from Oakland is on the Rich Eisen Show phone line. You there, Charles?
Rich, what's up, man?
How are you, Charles Woodson? How's it going?
Man, everything is great, man, until I was reminded that there was some sort of anniversary or something today, man. That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Well, we figured we'd call you up for this day in history today. 15 years ago, you and Tom Brady met in the backfield. Have you ever spoken to Brady about this, Charles?
No, we never had a conversation about it before, man. I probably had a conversation about it with every other person in the world, but Brady. So, no, we haven't talked about it.
What do you remember of this, Charles? I'm sorry to bring it up, but you know, you are a person of history. You know.
Yeah, you know what was interesting is I always think about that it's the anniversary of that play, but when I think of anniversaries, like I always think of happy thoughts, like like the day you get married, or maybe like your first kiss or something. That's an anniversary. The tuck rule for me is not an anniversary. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like happy thoughts don't come into my mind when I think of happy. So we gotta come up with another word for it. You got something else we can think of?
What do you think? It's the 15th. I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody's got to help us out with
the
that.
The 15th annual remember a horrible rule day. I don't know. It's because
yeah. You can describe. I think you can describe it however you want to, but I don't think anniversary when I think of that play.
Hey, what was?
I mean, to answer your question, man, yes. It's the play. I mean, I think it really truly it speaks for itself. When I listen back and listen at the commentators talking about, they're having dilemmas in their own mind. Like, I guess they're saying, it's a forward pass, or I guess his arm is going forward because nobody can, after he makes the initial pump and he brings the ball back to his body, his arm is no longer going forward. So you can't make the argument. You can't make that argument. So I think that's the reason why the rule, is not what it used to be, is because, they were able to justify what it was because of how the rule book was written. And, it still, there was no, at that point, there was no real clarification because there couldn't have been because his arm wasn't going forward. So I'm glad the rule is changed since then, and everybody can move on, hopefully.
Yeah. What was Al Davis's reaction? Do you remember?
You know what? I don't remember his reaction. After the game, I just remember. I remember our sideline, and I remember that it took a while, for them to come back with the decision, and all of us on the sideline we were looking at each other like, what could they possibly be trying to figure out? We totally didn't understand. Nobody had heard about the tuck rule, and if they did, it still didn't seem like it applied to that particular play. And I just remember our sideline, man. Everybody just kind of started whispering, like, man, I think they're going to overturn it. It's taken too long for them to come back and say, it's a fumble. They're going to do something different. And, after they made that announcement, man, it was almost like you could hear, like the air being let out of a balloon, man. It was crazy, man. Everybody just kind of went flat after that.
Well, Charles, I appreciate you calling in. I don't know if you're aware, because I know you were teeing it up. The Raiders applied officially for relocation today to Las Vegas. That actually happened. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, no, I knew it was coming. And I know that for Mark Davis, I know that he, and talking to him a few times, during this process, I know that he was really trying to do something in Oakland. And I believe that to be a fact. I heard that from him, that he was trying to get it done, and he continued to meet opposition, as far as that happening. So for him, I know that I know what he wants for the organization. I know what he wants for, the legacy of his father and the franchise. I know he wants a stadium, and I know he wants a way to be able to a place where he can honor former greats. And, you know, he wants a new stadium to make those things happen. And for it not to happen in Oakland, you got to find somewhere else to go. So for me, man, I just want him to get it done. I want him to make the Oakland Raiders facility a destination spot for people to come back and see the history of the Oakland Raiders. So I knew it was coming, and, you know, hopefully he can get it done. I mean, it would be sad for the city of Oakland. I understand that, but, you know, for the fans, they don't really have a say in it, I guess. You know, if the powers that be, you know, said we won't budge, then, you know, of course you got to move on.
Charles, thanks for calling in, bud. I appreciate it. Miss talking to you, and enjoy the first full year of your paparazzi rapping. You know, you're a goat, and you've got the goat in Berman saying farewell to the NFL hosting gig after all those years. So you got yourself a front row seat with television history. Enjoy it.
No doubt about it, man. I definitely appreciate ESPN for the opportunity to be on the show, and then, you know, to share it with Chris Berman's last year as the host of that show, man, is definitely something I cherish. So it's been a great first year out of the game, you know, being a player, but also a great year, man, being on, like you say, the paparazzi side.
There you are. How'd you last one for you? How'd you shoot today? How'd you hit him today?
You know what? After I got the news of this anniversary, man, it never got better.
Take care of yourself, Charles. We'll chat soon.
All right, Rich.
You're the man. That's the GOAT right there. Now that's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.